Greetings gastronauts, this is Keefcooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to show you how to make a classic Indian dish, tandoori chicken. So I'm doing this for Hazel B, who's requested it, and specifically she asked for oven cooked tandoori chicken. Now the name tandoori comes from the Indian clay oven, the tandoor, which is what it should be made in, but I haven't got one, have you? If you don't have a tandoor, you can do it on a grill or a barbecue, and if you don't have those, you can do it in the oven. So it's not exactly the way it should be, but it's fairly close, and it's really tasty. Juicy chicken, yogurty, spicy marinade, it's lovely. And a bonus item, I'm going to show you how to make naan bread as well. And another bonus item, beetroot raita. Let's do it. Okay, ingredients. I've got 6 chicken thighs, or you could use drumsticks or a mixture. A couple of tablespoons of oil, juice of half a lemon, a pot of yogurt, and a teaspoon each of turmeric, cumin, garam masala, and sweet paprika. The paprika is mainly there for colour. 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, a chunk of ginger about 1 inch, 2 or 3 centimetres, and a couple of little red chilies. So we need to prep the ginger and the garlic and the chilies. I'm going to peel the garlic and crush it or mince it, and you want to just peel the ginger and chop it into little bits, and they should be small enough to go through the garlic crusher as well. Yay! And finally just chop the chilies quite finely. And if you don't like too much heat, take those seeds out. Now I'll just pop those in a bowl. And with your bits of chicken, you want to just slash them right down to the bone. And that's so the marinade will get right in there. Give the meat flavour and also help tenderize it. So now I'll just pop the yogurt into the bowl and the oil and the spices. Give them all a good mix. Oh, don't forget the lemon juice. Mix it all together. Pop your chicken in. Make sure it's all completely coated. And then what we'll do is we'll cover that with plastic film and we'll leave it to marinate till we're ready for it. And I'm going to actually have about 4 hours, so that's plenty. You probably need at least 2 hours, and overnight is said to be better, but I never think about what I'm going to cook the next day. Well, I don't always think about what I'm going to cook the next day in time to get things ready. Right, I'm going to make some naan bread to go with our tandoori chicken. So I've got 250 grams of plain all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to add half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of sugar, 3 or 4 tablespoons of yogurt, and a teaspoon of baking powder, and a sachet of active dried yeast. And I'll just whiz all that together. Also got a couple of tablespoons of melted butter, or ghee if you've got it. I'll put half of that in there, save the rest of it for later. And just add enough water to bring it together into a nice dough. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to chuck some flour on the worktop, tip out the dough and knead it for 5 to 10 minutes to get the gluten going. So usual drill, fold it in thirds, twist it, roll it, stretch it, fold it in thirds, twist it, roll it, stretch it, fold it, da-de-da. Great, I like doing this actually, it relieves the stress a little bit. So there we go, nice ball of smooth silky dough. Pop it in the bowl, and I'm just going to drizzle some oil over it just to stop it drying out. And then cover it with plastic film, stick it in a warm place to rise till it's doubled in size, which will take an hour or 2. Now, I was going to make some cucumber raita to go with this, but I completely forgot to get a cucumber. However, all is not lost. I have a beetroot, and that will do just as well. Tastes a little bit different. And that is a pre-cooked beetroot. If yours isn't cooked, get on the case, get it cooked. And I've got a teaspoon of cumin seeds. I'm just going to roast those in the dry pan. And I've got yet another pot of yogurt. This is a complete yogurt fest, this meal. So you want to chop the beetroot into tiny little bits, but quite small cubes. I used to hate beetroot when I was a kid. I'm still not sure about it, but you know, it's very trendy, it's very hipster. Okay, when the smoke alarm goes off, when the cumin seeds start to smoke and release their aroma, take them off the heat, let them cool down. So just put your yogurt in a bowl and add the beetroot and the cumin seeds, stir it all together, and I'll just stick that in the fridge till we're ready for it. Right, now we're ready to cook the tandoori chicken. Chicken thighs or drumsticks will take about 45 minutes. If you're using boneless chicken breast, which you shouldn't do, you naughty person, it'll only take half an hour. So we'll just pop them on a wire rack over a roasting tin. And you want your oven preheated to 160 degrees Celsius if it's a fan oven, or 180 if it isn't. So there we go. You can see we've got quite a bit of marinade left over. Keep that because we'll use it to baste these with later on. So that wants to go in the oven for 20 minutes initially. So the chicken's had its first 20 minutes and it's looking good. Not bright red. If you do want your tandoori chicken to be bright red, use food colouring. So turn them all over, paint on some of the spare marinade, and then pop that back in for another 15 minutes. So after an hour or so, dough is pretty well risen, very well risen actually. And I'm just going to pop some flour on the worktop and tip out the dough and knock it back and break it in two, because this will be enough to make 4 naans, and right now I only need to make 2. That'll keep in the fridge, or actually in the freezer, which is a bit surprising, but it will work and it'll come back to life when you take it out. It's magic. So I'm just going to break this blob into 2 and stretch it out into a sort of oval naan shape, which is a bit pointed at the end because that's how it happens when it's dangling in a tandoor. I haven't yet got a tandoor, but watch this space, I might do one day. Okay, and I'm just going to pop them on a baking sheet lined with greaseproof paper and cover them with a clean tea towel and let them rise again for half an hour. Okay, woo! Steamy, steamy. Right, look at that. That's looking pretty good. So we turn it over again and we'll give it a final basting and a final 15 minutes. Actually, I'm going to turn the heat up by about 20 degrees for the last bit so we can try and get some charring going on. Right, I reckon that, woo! Oh yeah, baby. Those are charred. So I'm just going to cover those with foil to keep them warm while they rest for about 10 minutes, and meanwhile whack the oven up to as hot as it'll go and put a baking sheet in there, or a pizza stone if you've got one is better. Get that really hot for when we stick the naan on it, because we're going to do this naan in the oven while it's on. You can also do it in a frying pan, but this is what I'm doing today. Now we're just about ready to cook the naan, so I'm going to spread melted butter or ghee on one side, and then I've got some nigella seeds, which I like a lot. You could use sesame seeds or cumin or anything seedy if you want, or nothing. And turn it over and brush with water. Get the hot tray out of the oven and pop the naans on it and stick it back in. So that wants 2 minutes. I'll turn them over, another 2 minutes on that side. Okay, this looks, whoa, quite wonderful, I think. Tastes good too. The naan is wonderful, very soft, tasty. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed it. Now you can get the full recipe on my website, keefcooks.com, and there should be a link kicking around on the screen over there or down there. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Link. And talk to me. Leave comments, make requests, keep it civil and friendly or I will ban you. And thanks for watching and see you next time.